When you think of America, what comes to mind? Dazzling cities lit up with neon lights, endless highways cutting through vast plains, or the limitless dream of freedom. But there are places you'll never see on a postcard. No tourists, no guides, just raw, unforgiving nature. From scorching deserts to alligator-infested swamps, from boiling volcanoes to cursed ghost towns, every spot on this list has one thing in common. It can kill you if you underestimate it. This is not a list for the faint of heart. We're counting down from 10 to 1, and at each stop you'll have to ask yourself, could I survive if I were dropped there with nothing but a backpack and my instincts? Welcome to the top 10 most dangerous places in America. Are you ready? Take a deep breath and step into the dead zone. Number 10. Alaska's Denali National Park, Alaska. Cold doesn't kill you, overconfidence does. At the edge of the world, where the map fades into nothing but mountains, ice, and white void, lies Denali, sacred, majestic, and utterly merciless. Denali doesn't welcome visitors. It tests your will, pushes your physical limits, and punishes carelessness with a cold, silent death. There's no cell signal here, no help, no noise. Only the howl of the wind and the crunch of snow beneath your boots. In winter, temperatures can plunge below 50 degrees. Winds shred tents like paper, and whiteout blizzards can swallow a full-grown human in minutes without leaving a trace. Climbers have whispered stories. At night in Denali, there's no sound at all, just the beating of your own heart, and the creeping feeling that something's watching you from the dark. And then there are the disappearances. People who came to test themselves and never came back. Search planes sometimes find faint drag marks in the snow, or shadows lost in glacier crevasses tens of meters deep. The real threat in Denali isn't just nature. It's ego. Those who think they know the land. Who say they've climbed Everest. Who trust their GPS more than their instincts. Denali laughs, then buries them in eternal silence. You can bring the best gear. You can be in peak physical shape. But you can't bargain with nature. And Denali has no heart to forgive. Will you keep going? Or turn back while you still can? Number 9. The Everglades, Florida. Not everything that hunts you has two legs. It may look like a sunny tropical wetland. But the Everglades is no place for dreamers. It's a labyrinth of life and death, where every tiny sound could be the start of an attack. Stretching over 1.5 million acres, the Everglades is home to natural-born killers. Alligators, venomous snakes, Florida panthers, swarms of virus-carrying mosquitoes, and things locals only whisper about by nickname. This isn't your typical national park. This is a place where phone signals vanish within minutes of entering the brush. The swamp mud rises to your chest. Tree roots wrap around your ankles like claws, refusing to let go. And then there are the stories people don't tell in public. Footsteps in the fog, but when I turned around there was no one. The tent was torn apart overnight, no footprints. The camera caught a 10-foot-tall shadow with glowing red eyes. Some blame wildlife, others just imagination. But many locals believe something else lives in the swamp, a creature called the skunk ape, Florida's own version of Bigfoot. And they say it hunts the lost. But even if the monster doesn't find you, the Everglades still might kill you. A sudden fever, a bite from a cottonmouth, or one wrong step into still silent water. Out here, no one hears you scream, because sound is swallowed by the dripping swamp and the whispering reeds. Think you can swim? In the Everglades, the only thing that swims faster than you is the thing that's hungry. Number 8. Yosemite's Half Dome, California. It's not the fall that kills you, it's the decision to climb. Rising from the breathtaking wilderness of Yosemite National Park, Half Dome is one of the most iconic natural landmarks in America. But don't let its stunning beauty fool you. Half Dome is a gateway between life and death. This colossal granite dome stands nearly 2,700 meters tall. The trail to the summit stretches almost 22 kilometers. But that's the easy part. The real trial lies at the end. A near-vertical rock face where you must cling to 2 steel cables bolted into bare stone. No harness, no safety net, no turning back. One wrong gust of wind, one misplaced step, one unexpected downpour, and you'll fall over 100 meters into the abyss. More than 60 people have died here. Some slipped. Some were struck by lightning. and some were never found. Survivors speak of moments when hearts pounded like war drums, hands froze on the cables, and sweat poured even in freezing rain. As wind howled and thunder cracked overhead, I saw death up there, not beneath my feet, but inside my own head. A climber who made it back. But then there are the stranger stories. Campers near the base claim to hear footsteps racing across the rock at night, but no one's there. Some report screams echoing from the summit at 3 a.m., even when no one's climbing. Veteran rangers whisper that the spirits of the fallen are still climbing, forever stuck on the ascent. Half Dome doesn't just test your body. It tests your will, your mind, and the final limits of human instinct. If you choose to go up, remember, cables can't save a broken mind. And nature shows no mercy. Number 7. Hell's Canyon, Idaho, Oregon. Where the land is beautiful, and the silence is deadly. Hidden deep along the border of Idaho and Oregon, Hell's Canyon is the deepest canyon in the United States, even deeper than the Grand Canyon itself. But where the Grand Canyon invites tourists with blazing sunsets, Hell's Canyon hides a darker beauty, wild, remote, and unforgiving. Stretching nearly 250 kilometers and dropping over 2,400 meters in places, this is a maze of sheer cliffs, violent rivers, wild predators, and campfire stories no one tells in daylight. Some forgotten trails lead into dense forests, where compasses spin and GPS signals die. Locals call these white spots, zones that appear and vanish from maps, as if the land itself chooses who may enter and who won't return. Countless hikers, hunters, and backcountry explorers have vanished in the canyon's side ravines. No signal, no footprints, no final screams. In 1997, a group of geology students went missing near a side branch of Granite Creek. Only one returned a week later, disoriented, speechless, and remembering only whispers coming from the rock walls and flashing lights in the night sky, with no source. And then there's the Snake River, winding through the canyon like a colossal living dragon. Its surface seems calm, but beneath lies hidden whirlpools and killer undertows, strong enough to flip tourboats in seconds. Dozens have drowned in unexplained accidents, their bodies found miles away or never found at all. You don't fight to survive here. You just hope nature overlooks you, a local ranger confided. And then there's the tale of the midnight roar, a sound that echoes through the canyon at night. Part lion's growl, part metal scream. No recordings, no proof, but old hunters call it the Earth's curse, a warning that someone isn't coming back. Hell's Canyon is a place that tests not just your body but your mind. Not just the cliffs, the rivers, or the depth, but the feeling that you're not supposed to be here. If you choose to enter, remember, nature doesn't need a reason to take you. All it needs is for you to go too far. Number 6. Centralia, Pennsylvania. A town that died but never stopped burning. Once a bustling coal mining town in the early 20th century, Centralia is now nothing more than a dead zone. No voices, no lights, no signs of life, only heat rising from the ground. And cracked, smoking roads like hell is clawing its way to the surface. It all began in 1962 when a small fire in a local landfill accidentally spread into the abandoned coal mines beneath the town. That fire has never stopped burning. For over 60 years, the flames have smoldered underground, devouring everything above: homes, streets, forests, and even the people's hope. Residents were forced to flee as the ground temperatures soared. Toxic gases like CO and CO2 filled the air, and sudden sinkholes opened up without warning, big enough to swallow an entire car. Some didn't escape in time. In February 1981, a 12-year-old boy named Todd Domboski narrowly survived when the earth split open beneath his feet, revealing a 45-meter deep void. He managed to grab onto a root, but others weren't so lucky. Today, the town looks like the set of a post-apocalyptic horror film. Do not enter signs nailed to rusting poles, graffiti-covered roads with warnings like, "Turn back while you can." A modern graveyard of smoky cemeteries where the living are gone, but death still lingers. Many believe Centralia isn't just dangerous, it's cursed. Locals whisper of footsteps underground when no one's around, distant screams carried on the wind, and flickering lights in the mines like flashlights, but with no source. And yes, this real town inspired the legendary horror game Silent Hill. And the game might be the less terrifying version. The government has erased Centralia's zip code, cut off all public services, and banned all residency. Yet, a handful of people still remain, living among nameless roads and the stinging scent of sulfur in the air. Not everyone who leaves Centralia truly escapes it. Sometimes it follows you. A former miner before vanishing without a trace. Centralia is not a ghost town. It's a real-life nightmare, burning just beneath the thin layer of earth you're standing on. There are no fire alarms. There are no flames to see. Only the moment your feet start to burn and the ground disappears. Number 5. The Maze, Canyonlands National Park, Utah. It's not about getting in. It's about getting out. If there's one place in America where you could truly vanish from the world, it's the Maze. Hidden in the remote northwest corner of Canyonlands National Park, the Maze is a massive labyrinth of red rock, twisting canyons, sheer cliffs, and pathways so confusing and identical that even GPS satellites can be deceived. This is not a place for curious tourists. The Maze is the ultimate survival test. No cell signal, no reliable water sources, no clear way out. Once you step in, your sense of direction becomes your enemy. Towering sandstone walls, dozens of meters high, turn every turn into déjà vu. Everything looks the same, but nothing leads out. We started at 9 a.m. By 3 p.m. the map meant nothing. A survivor after 3 days trapped in the maze. It's no coincidence that the U.S. National Park Service officially lists the Maze as the most remote and dangerous area in the entire national park system. Even veteran rangers never go alone, not just because of the harsh terrain, but because of things they can't explain. Voices echoing off the rocks when you're alone, figures darting around corners and vanishing, radios going dead in certain slots of canyon where they worked just minutes before. And then there's the legend of the Whisper Zone, a part of the maze where nearly everyone reports hearing whispering. No one knows if it's just exhaustion or something wanting to be heard. Some say the whispers say their names, softly, repeatedly, like it had been waiting there for a very long time. Every year a few people get stuck in the maze, and not all of them are found. Not because of wild animals, not because of landslides, but simply because they got lost, tired, and disappeared. In the maze, the scariest thing isn't death. It's realizing no one's looking for you anymore. Found in a journal inside an abandoned backpack. The maze doesn't kill with force. It kills with silence, isolation, and despair. And sometimes, you're the one who makes the final fatal choice. You turned left when you should have turned right. Number 4. Volcanoes National Park, Hawaii, Big Island. Beneath paradise, the earth breathes fire. When people think of Hawaii, they imagine paradise. Turquoise beaches, gentle sunsets, the sway of palm trees. But on the Big Island, behind this breathtaking curtain of nature, lies a land that is alive, breathing, trembling, angry. Volcanoes National Park is not just a park. It is a gateway to the heart of the earth. Home to 2 of the world's most powerful volcanoes. Mauna Loa, the largest volcano on the planet. Kilauea, a volcano that has erupted continuously for decades. The ground here doesn't just shake, it splits open. Fire rises from the earth. Colorless toxic gases drift silently in the wind, and hiking trails can vanish overnight, consumed by lava flows. Walking through this place is like stepping onto the back of a half-sleeping beast. At any moment it could wake. You're hiking, and the earth beneath your boots grows hot like a stove. You're setting up camp, and the sound of cracking rock echoes from deep below. You drift off to sleep, and the night sky erupts in red, not from the moon, but from lava. It doesn't explode like in the movies. It hisses, then gushes out like boiling blood. And you only have minutes to decide, run or die. A geologist recalling the 2018 eruption. And it's not just the lava that threatens you. A deadlier enemy is one you can't even see, VOG. A toxic blend of steam, sulfur dioxide, and acid. VOG can choke you, burn your lungs, and blind you if the wind shifts suddenly. Native Hawaiians speak of Pele, the volcano goddess, protector of the island and embodiment of creation and destruction. It's said that if you take anything from the park, a stone, a branch, a handful of sand, You'll be cursed. Each year, the local post office receives hundreds of returned items, along with letters of apology from those who say they suffered misfortune after bringing back Pele's gift. I just took a handful of black sand as a souvenir. 3 days later, my car wouldn't start, I lost my job and my girlfriend left me. I mailed it back immediately. A tourist's letter sent back to Hawaii. Volcanoes National Park is not a place you explore. It's a place you enter with reverence. Because beneath every step, the earth may crack open without warning. And it's no coincidence that ancient Hawaiians called it the back of the sleeping dragon. Number 3. Slab City, California. No law, no rules, no help. On the edge of the Colorado Desert, tucked behind sun-scorched sandhills, there lies a place marked on the map, but untouched by the law. Slab City, also known as the last free place in America. Sounds intriguing, right? A free community with no police, no taxes, no electricity grid, no restrictions. But then you arrive, and you realize absolute freedom doesn't come with light. It comes with darkness. There are no gates, no welcome signs. You'll know you've reached Slab City when the paved road disappears, hand-painted signs in red scrawl take over, and strangers look at you like they've already seen how your story ends. Slab City wasn't built, it was born. On the remains of an abandoned military base, people dragged in burnt-out RVs, rusted buses, shipping containers, and called them home. But no one lives here by accident. They're running from taxes, from laws, from warrants, from their pasts, and many of them don't want to be found. You might stumble into the bright colors of Salvation Mountain, a monument of hope and paint. But go deeper, into the range, East Jesus, or unnamed campsites, and you'll feel a silence that isn't natural. Here, dogs bark through the night and never stop. Headlights turn on at 2 a.m. with no driver inside. Some tents never open, but you can hear voices from within every night. I stayed one night to film a documentary. At 3 a.m. someone knocked on my van. No one was there. But the side mirror was twisted backward. Of a filmmaker who never returned. Slab City has its own unspoken rules. Don't film for too long. Don't ask too many questions. Don't wander after sunset. Because the kind of freedom here isn't for the faint of heart. When the sun sets, the heat drops, and primal instincts rise. There are no streetlights, no signal, no 911. Just you, the wind, and the feeling that someone, somewhere, is watching. Unblinking. Slab City doesn't kill you with nature. It kills you with people. Because out here, everyone has secrets. And guns are cheap. A former soldier who lived here for 8 months. Slab City isn't a destination. It's an endpoint. You don't come to explore. You come to test if you can survive in a place where laws mean nothing. And human nature is the final trial. Number 2. Mount Rainier, Washington. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. South of Seattle, where mist clings to towering evergreens, a giant lies sleeping. Mount Rainier. Picture perfect, sky high, and deadlier than any other mountain in America. Mount Rainier isn't just a mountain. It's a powder keg wrapped in snow. It's the tallest active volcano in the continental U.S. and holds the largest volume of glacial ice in the lower 48. Sounds majestic? It's not. Because when this volcano wakes up, it won't just erupt, it will melt itself down. Lava plus glacial ice is lahar, a deadly flow of hot mud, rock, and debris that can race downhill at over 60 mph, tearing through forests, towns, homes, and lives. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, Mount Rainier is the #1 volcanic threat in the country. Why? Because at its base are hundreds of thousands of people living directly in the path of these future lahars, and most of them have no idea. If Mount Rainier erupts in the spring before the ice melts, Tacoma, Puyallup, and nearby towns could be gone within the hour, a geologist warns. But the scariest thing isn't the eruption, it's the silence. No quakes, no smoke, just a picture-perfect mountain that draws in hikers, campers, and selfie takers every year, many of whom never return. Mount Rainier has claimed more climbing deaths than any other peak in the U.S. Slips on thin ice, buried by avalanches, lost in fog thick as milk, or sometimes they just vanish. My brother sent a photo from the summit at 7 a.m. By 10, no signal. We only found one of his gloves, 400 meters from a crevasse, a grieving sister recalls. And if you ever hear a rumble like distant thunder, don't look up. Run immediately. It could be a falling glacier, an avalanche, or worst of all, a lahar. Locals call Mount Rainier the sleeping god with bloody hands, beautiful, majestic, and ready to tear everything apart when its time comes. Mount Rainier won't kill you with a bang, it kills you with waiting. And when it does, you won't get a second chance. A veteran scientist warns, you think you're hiking? No, you're walking on top of a ticking time bomb. The question isn't, will it erupt? It's, will you escape in time when it does? Number 1. Death Valley, California, Nevada. It doesn't kill you fast, it watches you die slowly. Of all the harshest places on Earth, only one bears the name Death, and earns it. Death Valley. Located in the Mojave Desert stretching from California into Nevada, Death Valley is the hottest, driest, and most unforgiving place in North America, if not the entire planet. Ground temperatures can exceed 130 degrees Celsius, even 4 degrees Celsius, hot enough that rubber soles can melt, car interiors can sear bare skin, and the human body begins to dehydrate, even when standing still. But Death Valley doesn't kill you in one blow. It strips away your life layer by layer, silently, slowly, inevitably. You're thirsty, but your water evaporates before you can drink it. You're lost, but every direction looks the same. Sand, rock, and blinding sunlight. Want to call for help? There's no signal, no people, nothing but you, and the heat boiling your mind. I lost my sense of direction just 2 hours into the hike. I thought I was circling back to the car, but I was just spinning in a fever dream of heat and glare. A survivor recounts, found after 4 days, severely sunburned and suffering temporary memory loss. And then there are things no one can explain. Death Valley isn't just sand and stone. It holds mysteries that defy logic. Massive boulders that move across flat ground on their own. Giant footprints appearing only after violent desert winds. Whispering voices in the midday heat. What archaeologists call auditory mirages caused by extreme dryness. But locals know as the voice of the old desert. Every year people enter Death Valley and never come out. They get lost. They run out of water. They run out of fuel. Or they're simply swallowed by silence and heat. Death here doesn't come like it does in the movies. No screaming, no blood. It comes like sleep. And you never wake up. From a final journal entry found inside an abandoned car near Badwater Basin. And yet, despite its brutality, Death Valley is hauntingly beautiful. A sky shattered blue like broken glass. Sand dunes pale as bone. Nights cold as a graveyard lost in space. Death Valley is not a place to conquer. It is a place to survive. No one wins against it. You only leave if it lets you. This place doesn't need to kill anyone to earn the name Valley of Death. All it needs is time, and you'll understand why. And that was the top 10 most brutal, horrifying, and deadly places in the U.S. So the question is, are you ready to step into them? Or will you always stay safely behind the screen? You've just traveled through the 10 most dangerous, isolated, and chilling places in the United States. Each one is a survival test. A place where humans must battle not just nature, but their deepest, most primal fears. Some places kill you with fire, some with water, and some don't need to do anything at all. Just staying too long is enough to turn you into a memory. In a modern world full of comfort and convenience, these places remind us of one truth. Humans are not the rulers of nature, only the lucky survivors. So out of all 10 places, where would you dare to step first? Or would you stay behind the line, just watching through the screen, quietly grateful to still be alive? If this series gave you chills and felt worth sharing, don't forget to like, comment the place that scared you most, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes exploring the wild world and the secrets it's still hiding. See you again, where the map ends, and survival is only the beginning.